You're tuned in to Super Talk 1270 and Free for All Friday. Compelling local talk at 11 o'clock. Free for All Friday features groups and organizations that are plugged into progress here in Central North Dakota. Our rotating panel includes members of the Bismarck Downtowners, the Bismarck Mandan Home Builders Association, and representatives from Pride of Dakota. You're invited to call in and join the discussion. It's Free for All Friday on Super Talk 1270.
Well, hey, Jim, we want to thank you, Super Talk 1270, and we want to thank the radio station as well as yourself for having us share a few, some of the work that's been going on at United Tribes Technical College. Glad to be here today. With me today is Kathy Johnson, our Vice President of Student Services, and she's going to share a little bit about some of the restructuring and for student services and how that's impacting our student population.
All right. Thank you, President McDonald. I've been with United Tribes Technical College for almost 12 years now, starting out in enrollment services. I then moved to the Senior Associate Vice President of Student and Campus Services, and later was the Interim Vice President of Student and Campus Services. And when President McDonald came on board, he saw the need to separate student services and campus services. And so I am now the Student Services Vice President. And what Student Services is, it's the division of our campus that provides support for our students. In this division, you will be doing everything from registering for classes, joining Student Senate, attending campus activities, signing up for a fitness class. You can visit our health center or see an academic counselor.
Yeah, we're really moving the campus towards a student-focused campus in regard to health and fitness, as well as the academic piece of this. We think all those roll together very well, and if you're healthier, and you're more likely to succeed academically, so we're kind of concentrating on that.
Right. United Tribes Technical College has made a major commitment to the health and wellness of our student, to our staff and visitors within the campus community. Our overall goal is to focus on the students so that their time with us is a success. We look at that intellectually, emotionally, physically, and socially.
Yeah, and to that end, as I shared last month, is that we've located a lot of the services within one facility or in close proximity to each other. The dorms and we're doing some rehabilitation right now, some retrofitting into an existing building, the Jack Barton Center, and I'm locating most of those services there. So I think Kathy's got quite a bit of task in regard to organizing that and pulling all of those services together on behalf of our college.
Yes, very true. I'm just going to share with you some of the departments that fall under my authority now. And we have enrollment services, and that includes our admissions and recruitment department, the registrar, the financial aid, the bursar's office, which is our student accounts, and career development and our retention office. And those are all the departments that Dr. McDonald alluded to that will be moving together under one roof, making it truly a one-stop shop for students. And then our housing department is just right across the street, so it's really coming together nicely. We also have the wellness department, which we have our student health, our academic counselors. We have a domestic violence advocate, a psychologist in residence, and a strengthening lifestyles department where all of our student activities come out of. We have on-site personal trainers and weight and cardio rooms.
Yep, and you could just you guys can't see this out there, you listeners, but Kathy's got some pretty good guns on her from working out in that facility over there. So I'm teasing her.
Well,
so.
Thank you. Okay, and we also have the athletics department, and we have a men's and women's team. And this fall, we will be starting out the season with 2 new coaches. And so they are out there busy recruiting our new team for the fall. Our athletic department also is very active in putting together our United Tribes Technical College marathons, a golf tournament, and basketball tournaments, and they work closely with our Strengthening Lifestyles team. And we also offer cross country and golf.
Yep, and along with that, with the summit, there's also the softball tournament that's being organized by our group, and those folks are part of the athletics department as well as some of our faculty out there at the college.
Another fun area that I'm able to supervise is our Student Senate. And of course, this is the vehicle in which our students have a voice. So every fall, we go through a voting process. We vote in the next year's group, and and we also include a variety of academic clubs that Student Senate works with.
And that really goes along that socialization piece, is that we really, I think if we're hanging around with other students or having success, and we're more likely to succeed ourselves. I know when I was coming through, I always wanted to hang around people that were smarter than me. It seemed to help me out in regard to it's kind of like you're playing basketball. You try to play basketball with those that play basketball better than you to make yourself better. And it's the same thing with academics, I think. And that socialization piece, I just want to say a few things on that, is that we didn't really have a student union before. And so a part of this retrofit with Jack Barden is really helping to that end. There'll be a student union there as part of that for a social piece. Maybe a foosball table, pool table down there, as well as a place to just hang out and watch television, or maybe have a couple of Xbox tournaments. On the other side of that floor will be the computer lab, and a 30-person computer lab, as well as the bookstore, and a small cafe for snacks and probably some household items for those who reside on campus, and so they don't have to run downtown in order to get those things, which they are currently doing now. So I think it's really feels nice as far as everything coming together in regard to that work. The second floor of that work is where Kathy would be located and provide those services to those students during the regular working hours.
Okay, I guess I just want to share a little bit about who our students are, who is out at United Tribes Technical College. Our students come from all over the country. On an average, we see students from around 25 to 30 different states. And we also see them coming from 20 to 30 different tribal communities. And that varies. It can go up from that and go down from that too, depending on the enrollment. The top 5 states we are seeing our students come from are North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, and Minnesota. The top 5 tribal communities that our students are coming from is Standing Rock, Cheyenne River, which is in South Dakota, Mandan, Hidatsa, and Arikara, which is where I'm from, Turtle Mountain, Ogallala Sioux, which is Rosebud, South Dakota. Just a side note, I wanted to mention that our non-native enrollment averages around 10 to 15% of our total enrollment. So we do have people that are not enrolled in reservations. I think people think that that's just a tribal college and that's all that can come there, but really we are open to everyone. The average age of our students is getting younger. They average around 27 to 29 years of age.
And there's been an increased effort on our part to recruit from new graduates from college, from high schools within a region to come to go to school, attend school at our college. The other piece of that too is that there's some demographics that are changing, and I think what we're seeing, especially with the MHA, is one of the tribes located here in North Dakota, but for whatever reasons they're moving to Bismarck, and the Fort Berthold reservation is where MHA is located on ours. Has seen a significant impact in regard to their community as a result of the oil boom. And so we've seen a huge influx of Mandan, Hidatsa, Arikara folks moving to the Bismarck-Mandan area. And as a result of that, their numbers in regard to students has been going up. Mm-hmm. So it's you can see how demographics in general are influencing our population. The other piece is that we have about a 2-to-1 ratio for females to males. So we have our females are more likely to go to school than males.
Right Now 66.
Get the app called Radio Pup for your iPhone and take us everywhere you go. Bismarck and Mandan's own Super Talk 1270.
All right, we want to welcome listeners back. My name is Russ McDonald. I'm president for United Tribes Technical College. We're located right next to the airport, and we want to invite anyone out there that likes to come out and take a tour or visit our campus. We're pleased to provide that to you and show you around a little bit. I've been to a few meetings since coming to town here about 8 months ago, and I went and at those meetings I visited with folks, and a common theme among several folks is that they had grown up here in the Bismarck-Mandan areas that they had never been to our campus. And so we want to just put an invite out there to all the listeners that you're welcome to campus and to come and just share and see what's going on in regard to education, post-secondary education on campus. With me right now are Cherise Fandrick, one of our Powwow Committee members, and Julie DeJarlis, the chair of our summit committee. And so these guys have been working hard in order to pull that together for us. And as you know, or maybe you don't know, is that the United Tribes Summit week alone, and Powwow Week and Summit Week has an economic impact on the Bismarck Mandan community of about $4.2 million. And so that week alone, and we're not even counting the rummage sales out there, guys. So we're pleased to have these two committee members here to share a little bit with us. And I'll go ahead and turn it over to Julie Desjarlais just to start out on some of the summit work that's going on, and then we'll go to the powwow.
Good morning. It's nice to be here, and it's such a beautiful day in this beautiful city. Yes, the summit will be September 8th through the 10th, and we will start out on the 8th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon promptly with our dignitaries and opening ceremonies. We have quite an agenda set up for the event. We have 2.5 days totally packed for the summit. We're going to have 10 different topics that our panelists will discuss. Our panelists are coming from all over the country, Native American experts and tribal people that will collaborate, discuss certain topics and issues that impact our lives, Native lives. And our theme this year is strengthening communities. I think this was really a good time for President Macdonald to bring us out here, because we do want to include our community. And when I say that, I don't just mean our Great Plains region and our Native people, but our community. In here, we are Bismarck. And throughout our Indian nations, we look at our issues, we look at our what is impacting our lives. What impacts our lives impacts everybody's life. So these topics are important. I think that if you can make it out, please do. As I stated, we will start promptly at 1 o'clock on Tuesday, September 8th. And we'll have 1 to 3, we will have, of course, our keynote address and our dignitaries. And then from 3 to 5, we will have our first 2 topics, and then we will have a social. And the social hour this year, we're changing it up a bit. We're going to have all of our 2 social hours are going to be in the trade show area, so we can give our vendors a great deal more exposure. So those of you out there that are thinking about putting in a booth at our summit, please do, because you will get some very, very good exposure. And we also look forward to seeing more of our community. We have set up some good relationships. We have had some wonderful sponsors. For those of you out there, the businesses and firms that are interested in being a part of our sponsorship program, let us know. Contact me directly at 221-1374, and I will talk to you as the summit chairwoman. Also, I have a trade show and registration committee. We have, so if you want to put in a booth or if you want to sponsor and become part of our circle of friends, please do, because we have some wonderful, wonderful things happening. And so I'm going to turn it over. As I stated, this is the 19th annual Tribal United Tribes 19th annual Summit, Leadership Summit. And this is very important to remember that this is United Tribes Event Week. It's not just about our summit and our powwow. This is UTEC Event Week. And we look forward to seeing all of you. So please come out. I'm going to have President Macdonald introduce our powwow person again, and this beautiful Cherise.
Well, both with Julie and and with the powwow committee is that we have these groups have been working very hard, and these are the spokesmen for them for those 2 groups today. And I think all of them have been a great team on behalf of United Tribes Technical College, and for a lot of that work, we're not having myself as a president, I'm not having to worry about it. I know the job's getting done, and that feels pretty good when you can put people in places in order to do that work for us. With that, I want to introduce Sherry Svanchik, who's one of the powwow committee members and has been participating quite frequently in both the summit and powwow committee meetings. And she's going to share a little bit about some of the powwow activities that are going on that weekend.
Thank you, President McDonald. Good morning, North Dakota. Exciting to be able to be here today and to be able to talk about the powwow, which, of course, everybody knows about the powwow that we have out at United Tribes Technical College. And our same things that are happening on our dates, which is September 10th through the 13th. So that Thursday through Sunday is when the powwow is going to be happening. It is our 46th annual powwow. So the powwow has been going on as long as United Tribes Technical College has been here in this community. And like Julie was saying, the one thing about the powwow, this is a community event. This belongs to our community. This is the one chance that we have out at the college to be able to share their culture that we have with everybody else in our state. And we love to be able to have people come out and sit down and be able to watch the dancers, ask questions, learn more about the culture of what's going out there, and having us be able to be there as a host for you. So we look forward to that. Some of the things that are going to be happening during that time, we have the grand entries. And if you've never been out there, you want to come out there, and the best time to be able to hit the time would be our grand entry. And we happen to have 7 grand entries that happen during this powwow starting on Thursday. Thursday night kicks it off. Thursday night at 7 p.m. is our very first grand entry. And then on Friday, we have a grand entry at 1 o'clock and 7, Saturday 1 and 7, and Sunday 1 and 7. But there's dancing that is going on all during the day. So you could come out and be able to come out anytime. Bring a lawn chair, blanket, bottle of water. We've got vendors out there, the arts and craft vendors that are there for you. We've got food galore. So we always have something that's there for you. You don't need to bring anything else except for your chair if you want to, or a blanket. A couple other things I want to mention. The price for the powwow, you want to come out there. This is the best deal that's out there. $20 for the 4 days. I mean, from Thursday to Sunday, it costs you $20 for the wristband, or it's $10 a day. And the other piece is, if you have your business or a group that wants to be able to come out, you can actually call out to the college and get as long as it's 10 or more, we have a discount, and you can get that weekend pass for $10. So it's half price if you call ahead of time and be able to get those. So you can do that for your business or organization. A couple other things. Friday, we have Youth Day in the morning out on campus. Youth Day is another community event. I don't know if you know that part of it, but there is the 4th grade all across Bismarck and Mandan gets invited to come out here to learn about the culture and come out here and spend that day. We have over 1,000 children that come out on campus on Friday morning, and it's great to see the kids all out there and having a chance to be able to learn about a different culture. So come on out for that if you want to be able to do that. If you're a golfer, we've got a golf tournament that happens on Friday out at Apple Creek. It's $120 per golfer. 1 o'clock shotgun start. So if you're interested in wanting to do that, we'd love to have you. We have a Diamonds Legends softball tournament that starts on Friday and goes all the way through Sunday. If you're interested in wanting to have a softball tournament, get a hold of us. Team, just get a hold of us. You can go to the website. I should say that a couple of times. The website, uttc.edu. Easy. And everything is on there, registration forms, all of the different events that we've been talking about. Right. The summit is also on the website that you can get there. We're going to have a new event, a high school basketball tournament that's going to happen during this time. So we have teams from the high schools that'll be able to do that. We've got our Thunderbird Run. Our Thunderbird Run, we do 3 runs, a 5K and a 10K. So there's 3 of them during the summer. And the third one, our final one, is during the powwow. That'll happen on Saturday. Registration 7 o'clock. 9 o'clock is the run. It's $20 for the 10K, $15 for the 5K. And we have a little kids run, which is free. So the kids can come out and they do a little run for them too, and there's prizes for them. And then, of course, on Saturday, we've got the parade. 9:30 sharp, we start from the Capitol grounds. And don't forget, we got a new route this year. And so we come down to Avenue A, go down 6th Street, down to Avenue A, turn and go over to 4th, and then back up to the Capitol. So we'd love to have you out there for that. Just remember that the route changes for that, and everybody's open to participate. If you'd like to have your float from a business in our parade, go to the website, and you can get the form for that too. Sunday, Buffalo Feed, 4 p.m. Come on out. If you want to come out on Sunday and hang out, we've got a free Buffalo Feed, and everybody is welcome for that part of it too. So we've got a lot of different events happening during the powwow, not only our dancing and our drummers and our singers, but a lot of different activities for you to be a part of. So we'd love to be able to have you come out there and share this with us.
Just to talk a little bit about that Buffalo Feed, the tribes that oversee us, the Bana Hidatsa Rickawa Nation, Turtle Mountain Bana Chippewa Indians, Spear Lake Nation, Standing Rock Sioux Tribe, and Sistan Wapano Yaate serve on our board. And each year they rotate and they take turns in regard to feeding the people. And so this year, Spear Lake Nation is providing the buffalo on our behalf. And so we just want to say a thank you out there to them, and
Yes.
as well as to the other tribal nations who feed our community every year. And it's a free feed. It's part of the covered within your admission. And so
it's part of that.
Come on out on Sunday and get some good food.
Sounds good. We'd love to have you.
Right now, 66.
Sean Hannity, weekdays at 2, only on Super Talk 1270.
Well, we want to thank our listeners back and welcome them back to allowing us to share a little bit today on Super Talk 1270, and also Jim for helping us along here. We sure appreciate that. My name is Russ McDonald. I'm president for United Tribes Technical College, and we're sharing a little bit about some of the activities that are going on campus. We begin with Kathy Johnson, our vice president of student services, and now we're speaking a little bit about the powwow that goes on every year, as well as the tribal leader summit. And so Julie's here is going to talk a little bit now about the topics in regard that are covered within that leadership conference.
Thank you, President McDonald. Yes, we have, as I stated, we start promptly at 1 o'clock, and we start with our keynote address and our keynote speaker, introducing our dignitaries, and then our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker this year is Brian Kladusby. He is the president of the National Congress of American Indians, NK. We're very, very pleased to have him. He will be here on Tuesday. He is also going to be. We've taken a little advantage of him. I've also have him on one of our panels. So he's been very, very supportive of us. On Tuesday afternoon, after the keynote address, we are going to have our first panel, and that is community, strengthening communities. And our moderator for that is Elle Nygaard. The panelists are Tracy Zephyr, Les LaFont, and Lorraine Davis. Now, these people, many of you know them. They're very prolific out here in our community in the state and in the Great Plains region. Following that particular strengthening communities, we will have tribal governance. And that is one that I've talked to our President Kladusby into also being on that particular panel. Our moderator is Scott Davis for that. We will then go into a social from 5 to 6 o'clock. And as I stated, those socials this year are going to be vital for our vendors because we're doing everything in the trade show area. We'll have trade show drawings. As I stated, for those of you that are interested, that have small businesses that can't do a level, for instance, our levels of sponsorship go from 1,000 on up. But for those of you that are interested in being part of our circle of friends and you can't really get into one of the levels, what I would like you to do is contact us and maybe give us some trade show drawing tickets, maybe gas cards or food cards, whatever, anything that would be wonderful because we really want to make this a special event. On Wednesday, we are going to have, we'll start out with our culture in the 21st century. And as President McDonald stated that our board members are actually going to be our moderators for many of our topics. The moderator for the 21st century is Frank Whitebull. He is our a councilman out of Standing Rock Nation. It is then followed up by the Economic Development and Commerce. And our chairperson of our board, Richard McLeod out of the Turtle Mountains is Turtle Mountain Indian Nation, will be moderating. By the way, that's where I'm from. And the next topic is going to be law. And our moderator is Mark Fox. This gentleman is out of the 3 affiliated tribes out of Fort Berthold. We have the next one is natural resources, and this one here we have. I have made a kind of a point of putting 3 panelists and a moderator. In some of these, I've put 4 because of the diversity of the topic, and this is one that I have 4 panelists and a moderator in. The luncheon special presentation is going to be done by James Anderson. I'll talk a little bit about Mr. Anderson when I talk to you about our youth summit. We're going to have the natural housing. We'll end that particular Wednesday, and the housing panel moderator is Jim Baker from the Turtle Mountains. We will also have a social that evening. Our socials on Tuesday evening is sponsored by the Missouri River Resources, and on Wednesday it is by Avion Caterers. Thursday we have our topics will include health and human services. Moderator is Brad Hawk. We'll follow that by the secondary education with a moderator of Nancy Green. And then we have our post-secondary education moderator, Dave Archambault. Dave Archambault is out of Standing Rock. He's the chairperson out of Standing Rock. Our Thursday luncheon, a special presentation, is going to be a lady named Hyde Erdrich. She is a novelist. Her sister is Louise Erdrich. And we're very, very excited to have all of these wonderful presenters and speakers at this event. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is the Youth Summit. As we are doing this particular summit on Thursday, we are going to have a youth summit that's going to run concurrent to our tribal summit. Those young people that are coming in, high school students that are coming in from around the Great Plains region, will have the same topics as we have. They are going to go through the same topics. They'll have presenters. And at the end of our session on Thursday from 2 to 4, these young people, they're going to be doing a position paper, telling us what they have gotten out of their conference. And they're going to be our leaders of tomorrow. We want to see, get the enthusiasm, see what they take out of what we are trying to, as educators, are we doing our job to get these young people interested in their future, in their futures and in their tribal governments. And this is a way of doing it. I was very pleased with this whole activity. Wes Longfeather is the gentleman that is chairing this particular event. And this, as I stated, this will be on Thursday at the Civic Center, and it's running concurrent. For those of you that would like to get a registration and register for the conference, we have 2 packets, actually. Our registration packet, if you call us and secure your registration prior to July 15th, the fee is $400 for the 3-day event. That will get you into the luncheons, into our summit, into our trade show. You get tickets for the powwow. It's a very, very good packet that you are getting. You're getting a lot in there. And also we have other so many events going on during that period that I think I can turn it over now to President McDonald or Charisse, and maybe we can do some follow-up.
Well, I think first of all, thanks for sharing, Julie. You could see as she shared, you could just hear the diverse number of topics that we'll be discussing. But I think it's important to understand that the interrelatedness between all of those topics is that economics related to housing. You know, we're hearing about it over in Williston and Watford City about the need for housing for those workers out there. There's no place for them that they can find an apartment or a home, and these are all important to the economic development of a community. And so at the same time, you have as far as the other topics are concerned with education. For both secondary and post-secondary education, is that we need trained folks. And so, again, we want to just say a thank you out there to the North Dakota Legislative, this last legislative session, for providing some workforce development funds to the tribal colleges here in North Dakota. And we've been working very hard to try to push forth those initiatives to create trained folks that can get out there and have good paying jobs in a short period of time. And that's so important for all of us as educators within our state to try and address that need. And I think I can speak on because we can see in the media that the North Dakota University system, not only us as tribal colleges, but the North Dakota University system is also focusing on these efforts to try and address the workforce needs of North Dakota. And when we talk about that, there's also the need for good paying jobs here within our state. And that needs to be connected as well. And I think for the most part, for the whole industry, it sounds to be going well there. But what's happening here within Bismarck-Mandan communities, we're competing with those higher paying jobs for the workers that we have here. So we see a lot of our folks have moved on to higher paying jobs as a result of that. And so the other end for the small businesses and for colleges like us that are are having budgeting shortfalls or budget needs that's hard for us to compete for those same people providing those services. Lastly, the part of law and natural resources, that specific topics, we hear the debate going on in regard to fracking and whether or not that's helpful for our community or not. Is there an impact on our water? Those topics are points of discussion that are real heated at times, I think, and so I think there needs to be a forum to try and share that out there and to try and come to some conclusion. I don't know if we close enough to get a consensus out of anybody, but for the most part, at least come to
bringing them together,
right? Having some kind of agreement, or that we're going to disagree.
Right.
So.
Right. The other thing too is that I think I didn't mention was that some of the people we're bringing in are national. One I'm very excited about is her name is Sammy Jo de Fontorum. She is the National Native American Indian Housing Council. So when we talk about housing, there we got the highest in the country.
Right now, 72.
When the weather turns bad, turn to us. Bismarck-Mandan's emergency weather information station, Super Talk 1270.
All right. Well, thank you very much for, again, to Jim and Super Talk 1270 Radio for allowing us to share a little bit of what's going on at United Tribes Technical College. We want to thank the listeners out there for allowing us to come and share a few words. To just go back to the United Tribes Technical College Summit, our theme is strengthening communities, and to that end, we have a number of topics that are focused on that area, and helping to introduce people to topics that I think that are important for them to help them to strengthen their communities. And again, these we're a tribal college, but I just want to state is that these are, for us, the way we see this is these are not Indian issues, but these are rural issues, and the issues that we all experience from living in isolated communities or near isolated communities. So. And our role we see as a post-secondary educational system is to help build that capacity for those communities among their human resources. And if we can have that trained workforce out there, then that's going to help us to address our economic development needs and to help those communities as a result of those people being trained up and going home to their communities to address their own economic needs. And and a lot of times we see people coming in that from the outside that think they know what's best for us. I think for us, we're coming from a different perspective, is that the people already know what the issues are and they know what the answers are. So let's just help them to get to that end. There's a couple folks that are coming, and I think they're just need to be mentioned. And we talked a little bit about Brian Kladutsby. He's chairman for the Swinomish tribe up in Washington State. And he's also president for the National Congress of American Indians, and he's going to be our keynote. And just a little bit of what he's the top person for NCAI, and he does quite a bit of advocacy work out there. He does a lot of public speaking in regard to different communities to bring awareness to the issues that Indian country is experiencing. And so there's a lot of testimony that goes on in Congress, a lot of policy that goes on. And I just want, and you need to mention this, I think, is that I just came from a meeting with the American Indian Higher Education Consortium up in Bemidji. Last night we got home. And but Carrie Billy was there and others. And I believe there was 23 tribal colleges represented at that meeting. And quite a few of the issues came up. But the issues of policies, the issue of policy making was one topic of discussion that we closed out prior to me hitting the road to come home last night. And I think it's so important for all of us to understand in regard to that end and how we approach those things. First of all, policymakers are very busy. So if we're gonna try and influence policy, we try to have short documents that have vital information within 1 or 2 sheets, and we provide that for us as tribal colleges. We may take that to our chairman or our tribal councils and present that to them. But that can be used at the same time to approach the North Dakota State Legislature and see if there's any help that they could provide to do that post-secondary education. If we're going to go up to the national level or regional levels, then we can again use that same information to maybe tweak it a little bit to try and affect policy at the national and regional levels. So those are so important in how we do that. But I think that's all of our jobs in regard to how we move that forward. And lastly, I just want to mention Cheryl Crazyboo, and she's the Chief Executive Officer for American Indian College Fund, and she'll be part of the post-secondary panel. And they bring a lot of resources to tribal colleges to help our students in a form of scholarships, and also funds available to tribal college faculty to help build their credentials. So I think it's a continual building process, and I think it's a continual building process for rural communities to consider as far as growing your own. I think it's very hard for us to recruit at times to have people come to these isolated communities, which are really home for us. And for those that are from those communities, if we can go and get educated and come back and help out, I think we served our purpose. And so along those lines is that, again, United Tribes Technical College is focusing on that end to help our students become as prepared as they can prior to going home to go back and help themselves, to help them, their families and their communities and their nations. So we're pleased again to be able to share a little bit on this. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Julie, and she's going to talk specifically about some of those speakers from that are going to be presenting at the conference.
Thank you, Dr. McDonald. And also thank you, Jim, for having us here. Yes, there are others. I don't want to bore you with a lot of names, but these people are exciting, and we are always happy to share our information, their status, and what they do in Indian country. When I look at their bios, I'm so impressed with so much of what they do. They don't get their jobs easy, but they've worked very hard for them. So when we bring them in, it's such a pleasure for us because they are really some of the best in Indian country. We have. For instance, we have Sharon Vogel. Sharon Vogel is out of the Region 3, and what she is the executive director. She's down at Cheyenne River. She's the executive director for their housing, and just a wonderful wealth of information there. We have President Cynthia Lindquist. Cynthia Lindquist is the president of Chendeska-Chickinaw, and also Lionel Bordeaux, who is the president of Sinte Gleska. So we have some some really good people coming in.
I think with Lionel too is that if I remember right is that he's the longest serving president of any of the tribal colleges.
That's correct.
And one of the founders of the American Indian Higher Education Consortium.
Mm-hmm.
Cindy, Dr. Lindquist too is at Chandeska. Serves as the president for the American Indian Higher Education Consortium Board, as well as president for the North Dakota Association of Tribal Colleges. So really key folks in regard to the tribal college movement and educating in Indian country.
Thank you so much. That's absolutely right. If I miss anything, we have our expert here that can help me out. We also have Lieutenant Governor Jefferson Keel. Jefferson Keel was the former president of the Native American Congress, National Congress of American Indian, and I was pleased to have him. I've kind of followed his path, and I was very pleased to hear that he would come and join us.
Yeah, he does an excellent job, and the other part is that. He's also a veteran, I believe a Vietnam veteran, and he was, for all you veterans out there, he was a ranger. Mm-hmm. So it was glad to have, thank him for serving, but also coming and providing some of that leadership here at our conference.
Thank you so much. This information is so valuable, and to get all that information out in this hour is valuable information. David Williams. David Williams is the CEO of Missouri River Resources out of the Fort Berthold area. We have Phyllis Howard. Phyllis Howard was the chair of the Fort Berthold Indian Nation a while back. She now serves as the director of health disparities here in Bismarck at the Capitol. We have Dr. Don Warren. Dr. Don Warren is out of NDSU, and he's on Indian health. Dr. Don Warren has done so much work with youth and with the health, and also bringing NDSU into tribal country with his focus on health issues.
Considering health, is that I just wanted to mention Harold Lindsay from the Fargo Veterans Administration Healthcare Center will also be on at the summit, and we'll have a booth and a table there, and we'll be doing a brief question and answer session with any veterans or family members, tribal council delegates, etc. During the summit. So that'll be available to visit with folks or veterans in regard to benefits that might be available to them as former service members.
Given all of this diversity and all of this various information that you're going to get at that summit, and all of the activities that are going on, starting, as I stated, on Tuesday afternoon and following through until 4 o'clock on Thursday, is just total, just complete, packed with information, issues. Of course, we're going to have our trade show, and again, I ask if you are interested in putting in a booth, if you're interested in joining us, if you're interested in any of these activities, please come out and see us. We welcome our community, strengthening communities. Again, this is UTech Event Week. We start out with our summit, the 8th through the 10th, and then we go to our powwow, the 10th through the 13th. And so the entire week is dedicated to focusing on these activities that we do throughout the week. Go ahead, Charisse. Did you have something?
Oh, and just to remember, one more word about the powwow, and we've got the whole week right after Labor Day. And if you're hungry, come on out. Remember, we've got cultural food out there. If you want to be able to have an Indian taco, here's your chance. And like I said, the buffalo feed that we have on Sunday. And thank you again to Spirit Lake Nation for donating. It's 800 pounds that they donate to be able to put in here to feed our community. So we really would like to invite you to come on out here. And the other thing, Jim, I wanted to just say quick quickly to thank you for allowing us to come out here and doing this for nonprofit organizations. And that's one of the things I think that we need to make sure we share with people is that United Tribes Technical College is a nonprofit organization. We're different from the university system that is here in North Dakota. So we really appreciate that you let us come on here to be able to talk about this.
And also thank you, Dennis, for setting this up. Dennis Newman is our OPI out at United Tribes, does a fabulous job. Thank you, President McDonald.
Well, we want to thank these two ladies too because they've been cutting up that 800 pounds of buffalo meat. So we want to again invite you out to the summit. Thank you very much.
Thank you.